Good evening and thanks for joining us. As environmental impact study scoping meetings start, concerns this time from Anchorage regarding the transfer of F-16s.
Now, even Anchorage officials are wary of the potential for F-16s to relocate from Eielson Air Force Base to Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage. The Anchorage Chamber of Commerce will not comment on the proposed move as they have not voted on an official position. Through his representatives, Anchorage Mayor Dan Sullivan says the housing market is a major concern as it's already flooded. Additional families to the Anchorage Bowl area could worsen the situation. Bill Popp, president and CEO of the Anchorage Economic Development Corporation, says they are not anti-military but do oppose the move for many reasons that directly impact industry in Anchorage. First and foremost, he says they are in support of Fairbanks and the impact the move will cause here.
Fairbanks is an important part of the statewide economy, and if Fairbanks' economy is in decline, then Anchorage feels the bite. We have a lot of warehousing and transportation-based business that relies on the Fairbanks area for a significant part of their revenues. We have service industries here in Anchorage that rely on the Fairbanks region for business that is important to their bottom line, and if Fairbanks begins to decline because of a significant impact like the move of this aggressor squad, we'll feel that.
The Air Force will hold 2 environmental impact statement scoping meetings Wednesday at noon and 6 p.m., both held at the Fairbanks Princess Riverside Lodge. The Fairbanks Borough is offering free shuttle services for those attending the 6 p.m. meeting. The shuttle buses will run continuously from 5 to 9 p.m. for the Pioneer Park to the Riverside Lodge.
No bail for a 22-year-old local man accused of robbing a downtown credit union in full view of the Fairbanks Police Department. Zach Rose was arraigned in State District Court this afternoon. He's charged with single counts of first-degree robbery and felony theft in the second degree. Authorities say just before 11:30 Monday morning, a male suspect entered the Mac Federal Credit Union on 10th Avenue, indicated he was armed, and demanded money. The teller complied, and the suspect fled with over $500 in cash, hailed a taxicab at the Westmark Hotel, and was dropped off at the Roadhouse and Saloon on South Cushman Street. Rose was later arrested at the Fairbanks Rescue Mission. Officials say all of the stolen money was recovered as well.
More charges for a 40-year-old Fairbanks man in jail for the alleged sex abuse of a young girl over a 7 to 8 year period of time beginning in 2005. Raymond Arkle is now charged with 18 counts of first-degree sexual abuse of a minor. Alaska State Troopers say they received a report from the Office of Children's Services stating that a now 16-year-old girl told a school staff member that she had been sexually abused by Arkle since she was 9 years old. During an interview with investigators, the girl described the incidents of alleged abuse. Arkle was arraigned earlier today in Fairbanks Superior Court on the charges. Now, trial in his case is set for early April.
Alaska gas prices are following the trend of the lower 48, increasing significantly in the past week. Now in Fairbanks, prices are ranging from about $3.60 to $3.81. This compares with the national average that has increased 14.4 cents per gallon in the last week to $3.48. That is according to GasBuddy.com's daily survey of 398 gas outlets in the state. One reason is the changeover from winter to summer fuel that is getting underway at refineries across the country. There are also other factors driving the prices up.
Is the situation in the Middle East. Just the discussion of it has pushed crude oil prices higher. The other thing that's pushing prices higher is the weakness of the U.S. dollar. As of today, in Alaska, you're seeing an average price increase of 8 cents a gallon just in the past week. And the prices have gone up 15 cents in the past month. But I think the rate of increase is going to slow down significantly.
You know, I just can't quite keep up with the prices of gas. One minute they're up, the next minute they're down.
And so many little things determine which way they go up. It's
so
crazy.
Many factors. All right, well, when we come back, some of the effects of the recession in the lower 48 have finally reached Alaska.
Also preparing for the Denali 2013 Centennial Climb. Stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Denali State Bank, your community bank, and by Nissan, innovation that excites.
Welcome back to the Fbx Evening News. Marking the centennial anniversary of its achievement in early June, a team of descendants comprised of the original expedition who first successfully climbed Mount McKinley will attempt to perform the same climb this spring. Named the Denali 2013 Centennial Climb, Dana Wright, Ken Karstens, Ray Schuneman, Dan Hopkins, and Mark Latime will begin their ascent this June 7th, 100 years after their forebears reached Denali's summit. Wright is the great-grandnephew of Walter Harper, the 21-year-old Athabascan, who was the first person on Denali's peak. Ken Karstens and Schuneman, great-grandsons of Harry Karstens, who was the second on the mountain and a team leader. Hopkins is the great-great-nephew, of Hudson Stuck, and Latime, who is the Bishop of Alaska and plans to hold a Eucharist on the mountain and honor the memory of Stuck.
This has honestly been a real lifelong push for all of us. And to have an opportunity to have it as a team effort, as opposed to just my cousin Kenneth and I, which is what we had planned on for probably the last 10, 15 years anyway. This is a real honor to give patronage to those who made it happen first.
You know, the one thing that I really haven't talked much about is that I think part of what I give to this journey is prayer life and spiritual life, and if I can be of any encouragement to the team as we gel, to remind us that we really are part of something that's even bigger than our team. I think that's a gift I can bring along.
The news center will have more on this story later this week.
The recent recession and job unemployment numbers have had a major impact on the lower 48, but now the effects are beginning to impact on the Alaska economy. Today, officials from the World Trade Center of Alaska informed the audience of businessmen and women that the economy of Alaska is beginning to show signs of weakening, along with job growth slowly decreasing. However, there are indications that construction jobs are on the rise and that export of materials from Alaska is helping a little to offset some losses. Still, the outlook is not very encouraging.
We expect price to be stable this year, but you know, we're facing long-term declines in oil production of 5 to 7% a year. So with stable prices, you end up with a 5 to 7% overall decline in the gross state product that comes from natural resources. We do think that will be balanced out this year by a good construction season from the state capital projects budget.
What we are exporting are really the building blocks of economic development. We're selling natural resources. These are the things that people need versus things that they may want. So we're at the right place at the right time with the right resources, and this is driving our export growth.
Students at the University of Alaska Fairbanks are teaming up in a newly formed class to help provide an outlet. The News Center has more in today's health report. Psychology in Action is a new class this semester. The purpose, to bring students together and collaborate to reach out to a community they feel is in need.
I mean, if you think about people in the community who are in need, the first thing you might think of is maybe a friend who has an eating disorder, or you think about suicide rates with our military. For us here on campus, one of the things that is still so fresh in our minds is the suicide right here on campus during the holidays. And it just shows a great need for support. People need support and people need help, and a lot of people are afraid to get it.
Some of the targeted groups include our soldiers, domestic violence victims, those with eating disorders, general suicide prevention, and reaching out to those who think their problems aren't big enough.
We are just students. We aren't counselors yet. And so our goal is to really work as kind of a resource to get the information and gather what's out there and then present it to people, to present it to students, but also present it to the community and let them know that, you know, one of the big things is stigmas associated with getting help. Like, people feel uncomfortable or strange seeking help for whatever reason. They feel like it puts a bad mark on them or it makes them stand out. And the truth is, having problems makes us human.
The students who are taking the class for the first time feel they are a part of something that can really help the Interior's community.
everybody's heart's in the right place. Everybody's excited about reaching out and maybe doing something good, something that can help people. Whether you feel your problems are on the low end, you're experiencing stress and anxiety, or you're on that extreme end, like this is an enormous problem. I don't want to live anymore. Reaching that broad span and knowing that everybody's interested in helping people on either end, I think that's really exciting.
The Health Report is brought to you by the Ear, Nose, and Throat Clinic, located in the Medical Dental Arts Building. Call 456-7768.
Where's Joe?
I don't know. Where'd he go?
I don't know. Actually,
That rhymed.
It did. Actually, Joe's waiting in the wings. He wanted me to pass along to you. He's got some high school basketball, also Nanook skiing team, and they made a statement of Conference of Champions and the Yukon Request Report. That's all coming up after the break in sports.
Lots of stuff.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Sports fans. Joe Cook here once again, the sports seat for you this Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. And to make it better, let's talk some sports. In high school basketball this weekend, there was a non-conference battle between the West Valley Wolfpack and Hutchinson Hawks. The Wolfpack used some pressure defense, and after the first quarter, they held a 20-11 lead. That defense forced 29 turnovers, and their tenacious rebounding was a factor as West Valley grabbed 25 offensive boards. Darian Silas had a game-high 27-21 points in the second half, trying to muster a comeback for the Hawks, but the Wolfpack wins 71-53 with Lorenzo Graham leading the team with 17 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 thefts. That's the stat line. Jake Carson added 10 points and 6 boards. Would the Lady Wolfpack complete the non-conference road sweep with the win? They would in a tight game throughout. That had it was 1 point separating the teams down the stretch, but West Valley made some big stops late. With the last one, after Lodgen Ashmore's jumper, giving them a 43-40 win. Ellie Veazey and Allison Yingling scored 12 points apiece for Hutch. Callie Franz had 12 points to lead 3 Wolfpack players in double figures.
And I was just really proud of our kids stepping up and playing some tough defense when it counted, especially, and moving the ball on offense and trusting each other on offense was a big plus today. So if we're going to keep building on that and keep working from there, and I sense good things down the road for us.
In more high school basketball, the Mental Lakers boys basketball team won the Little NIT over the weekend. The gritty 1A Lakers, with just 6 players, won by 2, 45-43 over the 2A Nikolai-esque Warriors. Mental was led by Taj Washington's 18 points. Calvin Baker added 11. The Lakers led 24-16 at halftime. The Warriors cut it to 3, but Mental held on for the title. The Nikolai-esque girls did win the girls' title in a 53-42 win over host Nenana. Kayla Stafford scored 11 points in the second half, finishing with 15 to lead the Lady Warriors in the fourth to secure the win over Nenana. 6'3" diamond in the rough, Ninella Dorval of Nikolai-West was tournament MVP for the girls. Also, the Monroe Rams boys team lost over the weekend, something that you don't hear often. The final was 59-47 to ACS. In an endowment game, these teams could see each other again at States. David Stepovich scored 12 points, and Scooter Bynum led the way with defense, and he had 14 points. Nate Simmers had a game-high 19 for ACS. The Nanook skiing team is making a case for a possible Central Collegiate Skiing Association title after a great opening weekend performance for the men and the women. In East Fleming, Michigan, the women's team of Marit Yabov, Haiti Connor Brook, and Julia Ebner finished second in the 3x5 kilometer relay, just 30 seconds behind Northern Michigan. The Nanooks are in second place, just 16 points down from Northern Michigan after 2 days for a silver. Yabov also won back-to-back CCSA sprint titles in the women's 1.5 kilometer freestyle sprint. Yabov had a 4-minute, 15.3 second qualifying time, which put her in the finals, and she smoked the field for a consecutive title. On the men's side, senior Ian Wilkinson led the Nanooks in a 1.5K sprint, finishing in 5th place. The 3-lap 10K relay team of Wilkinson, Lars Arnenson, Andrew Arnold took 5th as well for an overall 4th place finish in the standings. The second week of the CCSA SA Championships is February 16th in Coleraine, Minnesota. Now it's time for today's Yukon Quest report. At about 3:30 today, Hugh Neff, the defending champ, was first to make it to the Dawson City checkpoint. Neff has a chance to win over $6,000 in gold for getting to Dawson first, winning the Dawson City Award. Now Neff just has to win. Lance Mackey has been struggling in this year's quest. Mackey is 9th and has dropped 5 dogs, leaving him with just 9, the smallest team in the race so far. He cites that his dogs haven't been eating very well and struggling in the warm temperatures. For the leaderboard, Hugh Neff is followed closely by Alan Moore. Moore is trailed by Jake Berkowitz, Brent Sace, and rookie Scott Smith for the top 5. Ed Abramson was the first scratch for this year's race, not continuing on to CarMax is what he decided to do, and has not been released as to why he was scratched. The Yukon 300 finished in stellar fashion with Michelle Phillips winning by just 8 seconds over Ali Zirkle from Whitehorse to Pelly Crossing. Phillips won the $1,350 purse. And finally tonight, we announced the KTVF Pro Football Challenge Grand Prize winner. And now the winner of the Pro Football Challenge Super Prize Pack is Steve Zananzo of North Pole. Mr. Zananzo wins a loaded prize pack, including some KTF gear and pizza for a year from Papa John's. Mr. Zananzo works for Latham High School as the district-wide activities coordinator, so all that pizza, hey, it may come in handy. We'll have some more contests coming soon where you too can be a winner. Just keep watching Channel 11. And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. For more KTVF sports, go to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com, and of course, our mobile app. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Welcome back to Fairbanks Evening News, everyone. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at the weather. Starting off with our photo tonight. This one's sent in by Thomas Calhoun. A whiteout on the Alaska Highway. As you can see, lots of snow-covered areas there. I'm sure that was a lot of fun driving in. And if you have a photograph to share, by all means, send to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. What's going on at the airport? Very light snow, 8 degrees after a high of 10. The low last night, 7 below. Nice temperatures for this time of year. Record high was 39, 1980. Record low, 56 below in 1960.
Well, folks, I got it. Snow on the West Coast, 21 for Nome, Bethel, looking great in Cold Bay. And then on the Panhandle, Juneau looking great at 36, Ketchikan 44 degrees. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. And as we continue on, you can see that we're going to go down to the lower 48. And we are, at this point, going to hand it off to Mike, and he's going to take it the rest of the way. Mike.
It's amazing what happens when your battery dies. That's exactly what happened. Okay, give me the clicker. Let's get back to this. You can see the lower 48. Lots of rain over the southeast. And what's happening otherwise in our satellite picture, again, more information moving across from the Pacific Northwest and more formations of storms across the Great Lakes. This is live TV, folks, no doubt about it. All right, what's going on? A storm potential, a big storm expected to move across the Great Lakes. That will continue to strengthen across the Northeast. And as far as what's going on the jet stream, again, you can see lots of moisture being brought in across the Pacific Northwest, going west to east and over the Northeast too. All right, back to Alaska right now. What's happening here? Well, northern sections, clouds and fog for Barrow, snow showers at Nome, flurries in Fort Yukon. In the interior, we'll be looking once again at some snow developing for Fairbanks and Healy, 1 to 3 inches of accumulation. And over southeast Alaska, we will be looking at, again, mainly clouds for Juneau, rain showers scattered at Ketchikan. Over the southwest, it looks like a mixed bag of weather, snow showers in Bethel, rain and snow at Cold Bay, cloudy in Kodiak. And over south central regions, we're looking at, again, a mixed bag of weather, snow in Anchorage and Homer, areas of snow at Valdez, 2 inches of snow expected in Valdez. It's time once again for our kids' weather. This week we're talking with the kids from Two Rivers Elementary School, and tonight 2 ladies with a picture for us.
And I was just really proud of our kids stepping up and playing some tough defense when it...
Hi, my name is Hannah.
I couldn't tell.
And I am Kendra. And we are at Two Rivers Elementary School. And I'm in 4th grade, and Kendra's in 5th. And these are our pictures. Mine's a snowflake.
And mine is a summer scenery.
And thank you for watching.
All right, thanks a lot. And tomorrow night, once again, we'll have another representative from Two Rivers Elementary School. A young man will be here to give us a weather question for me. Hopefully things will go a little more smoother tomorrow night. All right, here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 6 below, not as cold with clouds and occasional flurries. Tomorrow's forecast looking at 8 degrees above, snow developing 1 to 3 inches, and don't forget to attend the scoping meetings at noon and 6 p.m. at the Princess Riverside Hotel. All right, here's your forecast for the extended forecast. You can see scattered snow showers on Thursday and again on Sunday, otherwise off and on snow showers right on through the 5-day period. Overnight lows dropping down to around 0, daytime highs rising to near 20 degrees by Monday. So you can tell today is National Weatherman Day, right?
Very well. Let me just give this back to you, Daryl.
Thank you.
Okay, well, with that, I think that we will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
That's right. Tonight on NBC Nightly News, the latest on the Justice Department memo that concludes the president can order the killing of Americans with predator drone strikes. Pretty important stuff. That's next with Brian Williams. Now, also be sure and check us out online, webcenter11.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and now funniest bloopers, apparently.
And I'm going to go get another battery.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh, okay, so from all of us here at the News Center, you guys have a great night.